Yeah, sure.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Startup Change Leaders weekly meet. We meet every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. And today we have with us Mr. Aneel Kumar Bonu, who is basically uh, uh, ex-HR professional and now having his own startup in HR field. So called Tenant Spotify. Aneel is a veteran and has traveled globally. And now Aneel, you are based in Bangalore now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we welcome Aneel, and it's always a pleasure to hear you on various topics of HR interest. And HR is one of the biggest challenge for all the startups because I coach a few of them, and even the SME entrepreneurs, they struggle with their day-to-day HR challenges and how to have their team together. So over to you, Anil. We would like to be enlightened by you today. Yeah.
Sure. Thanks, Raju. Let me know if you guys are able to see my screen.
Yeah, sure. We can.
Yeah, thank you. So, good morning, all.
Good morning.
1 second. Yeah. Good morning, all. So, thanks, Raju, for my quick introduction. And I hope if people are just coming from the regular weeks, so they may aware of that. I'm just giving a series of discussions and talks related to startup ecosystem around that. So today's topic is we are going to talk about objectives and key results, which is OKR in simple keywords. So this OKR is not only for startups. Actually, this is for all MSME and enterprises and everywhere. Nowadays, it is one of the topic. It is not a new one, and it's already pretty old, but implementation of this kind of a framework, which is coming up as a now, is recently, it's the people have seen that benefits, what are it's coming up from there, and they started using it. So you can see that OKR perspective, when you are looking at that, there is a Swiss knife is there. That means you can use OKR in multi-purpose perspective on this one. It's not only restricted to one domain. It's not only restricted to anything on this one. You can define your OKRs from your multi-domains on this one, and you can use this as a business change management tool where you can increase your productivity or maybe revenue, whatever it is. It's always multiplied with 5x or 10x on that. So it started, as I mentioned, that it is not a new concept. It started actually, it's in Intel, which is in Andy Grove, who is the initial Intel's one of the CEO. He just brought this concept in 1970 itself. And what does it mean by OKR? What is mean by objective and key results? What is mean by objective? That means it is nothing but of where do we want to go? That means what are you going to achieve it on this one? Where do you want to go? Then second point is, how will we know whether we are actually getting there or not? That is nothing but of a measurement on this one. Suppose, for example, if I want to travel from Delhi to Bangalore, I know that one, where do I want to go? That's a Bangalore. So during that travel, how do I know whether I'm going towards the Bangalore or I'm going towards the Hyderabad? Now this one, there is some sort of measurement will be there, right? So that's where actually it is called as a key result. So objective and as well as key results. This is where actually the concept is simple. And currently this concept is widely used across all the companies. Of course, Google is one of the famous and well-known for implementing OKR concepts in early 1990s, and they started and they finally matured the good framework in which they have established to public around 2009 and 2010. From there onwards, Google is always continuously, and Google is famous for OKRs. And as well as nowadays, Netflix is also using as a OKR for famous for that. Of course, Salesforce, Reliance, GE, whatnot, the bigger enterprises, everybody is using on this one. At the same time, the same concept can be used SMEs. The lack of knowledge on OKR to be implemented, that's where actually which is having is a missing in MSME sector, and as well as the main important factor is startups. If we can define a proper OKRs for the startups, and if you are stick to that, then obviously the product and the success rate will be much more higher than compared to without a OKRs. So that's what I can say that about the OKR perspective. And it is a simple thing. In earlier days, what we have, it is having as a, we do have as a 5-year strategy. Like, this year I will generate so and so revenue, and I will be just reduce my cost, and as well as I will increase my marketing expenses, and I will increase my footfall of the customers. And all these kind of a things we earlier people used to do as a strategic planning, which is having as a 5 years plan. This is what actually I'm going to do that one. What is going to happen is, nowadays it's a so dynamic, the world is so dynamic, and it is changing a day by day on this one. Like, people are just coming up with new policies, and environment is changing, government's policies are changing, and the world is changing so much. It's a nowadays 5 years plan is no more valid. Like, I'm going to execute a build it now, and that is for 5 years. It's very difficult. 5 years the market is going to be totally changes, and it's a kind of a thing where it is a new things are coming up in the market, and which we don't even know that one how fast it is there. For example, earlier days, something is new technology has been innovated, it used to take it as a years, and then nowadays it slowly becomes like, when it is a cloud internet came up, it's coming up in a month. And nowadays, like, let just to make a classic example is, nowadays it's coming up in today's, the classic example is chat gpt. Chat gpt was invented somewhere else in just in the 2-3 months back, that's it. And people started in India is just preparing a use cases of that one. So it is going into the technology is growing so rapid, and nowadays the 5 years plan and 3 years plan, these kind of things will not be executed. Nowadays you just come up with that how it is going to be. You can keep it as a typically a 90 days time box matrix, and these are the 90 days, this is my objective, and these are my key results I'm going to achieve on these points, and I will just check it out. This is something I will just build it, and then after that I will measure. This is what actually whether I'm just doing that one. If at all anything mistakes or anything in this one, I will learn from my mistakes and I will rebuild it. That's what actually this triangle cycle, which will be always building up that build, learn, and measure. This is what actually how it will be there always in that one. Whenever you have an idea is coming up, you will be building something, and that is a product, and you will measure with the market on this one whether it has been perfectly fit on that particular feature or not. Then based on the data collection, like, how many users are watching on this one particular app, or how many users downloading that app, based on the data, you whatever you are learning on this one, okay, there are some features are people are just more liking, and some features people don't like it. Then based on your understanding, then again you will be just rethinking, and then you're rebuilding it, this one. That's what actually the cycle is, how it is supposed to be. It's a kind of exploration and as well as execution. That's what actually what you are supposed to do. That's where actually the OKR framework basically it is lying on that. So generally what makes coming to the startups perspective, how it will be happen. Frankly speaking, in startups there is no failure. What will happen is either you will win or you will learn. That's it. If you are just, if you are earning money, and if you are just getting a funding, super funding, and then you are a profitable company, then you are winning side. Or if you are not making as a profitable company, or if you are just maybe like you are not generating a revenue, or you are not generating enough customers, or you are not able to generate a funding or something, it's not a failure. It's a kind of a learning how to do in the next time to make that into towards the winning, or maybe in the same venture, or it could be a different venture, it could be on this one. It's a kind of a learning kind of a thing what you are doing. So that's where actually we can simply say startups, either they will win or they will learn. That's it. So it is a kind of a completely experimenting and execution. This is a, the basically what will the difference between win and learning is that one, whatever you are just doing an experimenting and execution, for that you will be reducing a minimize the risks whatever it is involved, and that's where actually it will be helpful for the OKR perspective. So if you are going towards winning to learning side, that is nothing but of zone of failure, what we call it as typically, that's where actually your OKR will help you out to push towards the win side. That's the whole concept of that startups. Why do we need to use, you have to keep it as a OKR concepts on this one, especially for the startups and MSME companies. So even though if you are a single person owned company, if you are running yourself, then you better to keep it yourself as a OKRs for a 90 days matrix and stick to that and follow it. And that's where actually you will see the results of this one. What is mean by OKR? We are just keep on stressing that what is OKRs on this one. Yes, we talk about that objectives and as well as key results. So what is mean by objective? It's a kind of aspirational. It's a kind of inspiration and clear. It is like, you know what is that goal it is supposed to be there. But key results is nothing but of how do I know whether I'm getting there? That means it's a kind of a measurable, it's a kind of a specific, and it's kind of a stretchable kind of a thing. There is some sort of things that is called as a tasks or initiatives. What will I do to get there on this one, to reach the key result on this one? Simple case, I will just give you as a hypothetical example. So and so Ram is there, one of the guy who wants to be a Bollywood actor. It's an aspirational. Yes, he wants to be a Bollywood actor. He is an aspirational, and it's an inspiring, and it's a clear. So that's the objective. So Ram wants to be a Bollywood actor is an objective. Okay. For key results, how do you define a key results for that? How do he can become a Bollywood actor? So currently Ram's weight is maybe 100 kgs. So he needs to be reduced in 90 days. He needs to reduce from 100 kgs to 75 kgs, or maybe 80 kgs on this one. Or probably he needs to go for an acting school for 8 hours or so, whatever the certain period of time he has to do that. Or he needs to play, perform some short films over there, maybe in a 5-6 short films during this 90 days period on this one. These are all key results on this one. For key results to get in that, okay, for example, let's take an example. He needs to reduce his weight from 100 kgs to 80 kgs. So what he needs to do, he needs to go to gym, and he has to reduce his diet and all these kind of things, which is comes under tasks. I hope I'm clear with that example. The objective is Ram needs to be a Bollywood actor. That's an objective. Key results is he needs to reduce his weight from 100 to 80. When I'm saying as a 100 to 80, that is a specific, I'm measuring that weight. And as well as I'm also mentioning that one, he needs to act in 5 short films on this one. So this is also, I'm quantifying the result on this one. At the same time, the tasks, what he needs to do that one, when he wants to reduce his weight, he needs to go to the gym every day. At the same time, we are also saying that one, he needs to reduce his diet. I mean, in food intake or maybe nutrition diet, what needs to be, he should be cautious on that one. These are all tasks achieving, helping him towards reaching to the key result on that. So the classic example for the most of the startups, how it will be there. I want to launch my #1 rated iOS photo editing app. Okay, that's what actually, that's your goal. But how do you measure that one? First, you should be conduct a survey to identify what is the 10 most people wanted features on that one. So you have to conduct one survey and you have to ask the people, okay, what are the features you are looking? That is the 10 most features. And second thing, launch 5 most requested features by December 30. You can see that it's a time bounded and as well as quantifiable on this one. It is always key results. Launch 5 most requested features. 5 is a quantifiable where it is a measurable, and by December 30 you are having as a time period will be there. And you can see that one, conduct 10 user tests to identify a UX issues, because when you are developing a mobile app, then you have a UI, even UX is must and mandatory, where it should be very intuitive and it should be like user friendly. So you have to do a 10 user test to identify UX issues. Also 50% improvement in customer satisfaction via customer survey. Let's take an example. You have launched the first version of app and people saw that one and they have given you feedback, maybe a 4 rating out of 5. Then after that, you need to improve that 4 to 4.5. How do you bring it to 4 to 4.5 rating? So that's where actually you need to work it out towards that one as a key results. So this is one of the example what I'm just mentioning that one. So you have to define your own startups ideas or whatever it is in your domain, respective domain areas. You have to keep it as a one big objective. And for that, how do you make that into small quantifiable achievable key results? And then how do you achieve it? You have to define the tasks. That's what actually all about it. And what makes This OKR especially powerful for startups on this one. As we know that one objective is always aspirational and ambitious and it should be stretched. And also objective is not only by yourself, it should be a collaborative also. What is mean by collaborative? You are not only the one. Let's take an example. Your objective is you are supposed to be generate a revenue, increase your revenue. Increasing a revenue is not only by yourself, it requires your team collaboration also required on this one. So how do you share your objective to your teams to make sure that one this objective is successful? And also you will be always focusing a message. It is not about the setting a goal and then after that you forgot about everything on this one. No, it should be, you should keep on focus and you should keep on measure to that one. And also you have to have a commitment across the team from top to bottom on this one. So this is the whole concept, is the execution. It's not about the setting an objective, it's not about the setting a key result, it's all about execution of everything on this one. And also make sure that one, it is not linked to salary on this one, because some companies where we have seen that it is not linked to the salary on this one. Better rather than that, keep it as some other incentives on this one. It's not like as a salary, probably a rewards or maybe a recognition kind of a thing where you can keep it on this one. And also it should be a transparent enough where it should be visible to everybody what you are doing and you are aligning to the company on this one. And also you have to keep these objectives as lean as possible. Either it could be a 60 days or you have to keep it as a target as a 90 days. You have to measure now what is currently now, and you have to keep it as after 60 days. Once your objective is achieved, then you have to measure what is the current part on this one. So you should be seeing as a significant improvement. Either it could be a 2x or 10x, whatever it is, it depends on yours. And altogether, the most important thing, culture, the implementation. Most of the OKRs are failed in many companies because people used to set the OKRs and then after that they leave it everything on this one. If they don't have a culture to check always, seeing that one, okay, which you are setting an objective and then you have to keep on monitoring on this one. That's where actually the OKRs are so powerful for the startups. As a starting period, like, you are a startup founder, a CEO, whomever it is there, then you have to set your objectives. Then after that, you have to cascade your objective to teams and make sure that one, you are aligning to that objectives and the team is also following these objectives on this. Let's take an example. I will show you another example on this one. Generally it's an individual people on this one. I'm just giving it as this is a common example where it is generally it will be having an objective saying that one, run a 10K in under 50 minutes by December. That's what actually your objective. How do you do that one? You cannot do it in a 10K run in 50 minutes all of a sudden in share, all altogether, because on an average, even if you run it fast, then probably you maximum to run is maybe 6 to 7 kilometers speed. On that one, you can't continuously run it out on this one in 60 minutes. So you have to increase your consistency. So what you do, you have to define yourself as a key results. Go run for maybe a 3 kilometers or 3x per week to at least 30 minutes. Like, for example, you just run it for the speed to increase slowly on this one, and increase the distance of run 1 mile by every week. And also increase your mile speed by 5 seconds every week. So, and drink at least 3 liters of water and sleep at least 8 hours a day. These are all you can set the key results. Once you achieve all these key results, then obviously you can run a 10K under 50 minutes, which is by December. I mean, whatever the period, you can just keep it on this one. Then yes, obviously you can able to do that. So this is a very straightforward, the difference between tasks and initiatives and key results. What you can see, these key results initiatives, what it will be seeing always the reports when we are taking out, everything looks like as a green on this one, but you should be measuring that one whether you are actually following these particular key results or not. That is only doing by yourself as a CEO or founder by yourself. You have to make sure that one, your key results of your team is following or not. Most of the people, what they will do, yes, I have done, okay, I have run it today, then it's completed, the task is completed and everything looks like as a green, but in end result, if it is not coming as a genuine one of what you are putting yourself on this one, then your OKR framework will not work on that. That's the whole concept of that one. The most important thing in the OKRs is another one is cascading. What is meant by cascading? Let's take an example. You are a manager and you are responsible to generate a $5 million revenue for the whole year. You have a two reportees, whomever it is capable of equal persons. You are responsible for leading for two teams. You have two team leaders are reporting to you. So what will happen is, if you are an intelligent manager, what you will do, you are supposed to, your target is $5 million is supposed to generate a revenue. So what you will do, you will cascade this 5 million to two of your team leaders as $3 million and $3 million as an each individual targets. Imagine if these two team leaders are achieving these $3 million in their respective things, then your overall achievement, it's not only a 5 million, your achievement is a $6 million. You understand? Then you have to divide your targets. You have to cascade the objectives in a such a way, in a proper way. Let's take an example. If you are a CEO, you have to have a certain objective saying that one, generate revenue of increase my revenue by 10% by the end of the year. And second thing, reduce costs 10% by the end of the year. So I can't give two of my objectives to the same person. One objective generating a revenue, maybe I will give it to the salesperson, whomever it is responsible for me. Whereas reducing a cost, I may give it to the finance person, or maybe I'm giving it to the HR person, whomever it is, to reduce the, how to reduce the costs on this one. So you have to split your objectives and you have to cascade these objectives into the respective individual ways on this one. So that's the overall perspective of what is an objective and what is the key results and what are the tasks, how you are going to be initiated on this one. So you can always define this as a, use this as a template, and you can always saying that one, what is your template, what is your objective, and what are the key results, and what is the due dates, and you can put it as a, who is that lead or team responsible for that particular key result, and what is the starting at this moment, what is there, and what is the target value, how you are going to achieve over here. That is where actually it's a simple framework where you can also do by yourself for your startups, respective startups, where you can define your objectives and as well as key results, and you can also put the due dates, and make sure that one, don't change the due dates and don't stick to that point. Try to stick to that one, what you have written over here at the 60 days or 90 days period, and try to, you know, execute the same thing and stick to that point. And also make sure that one, it is not only yourself, and you have to give a responsible to your teams, whomever it is. Then after that, you know, make sure that one, they are also following the same thing on this one. So that's all from my side and the objectives and key results side, and I'm happy to share further discussions, and I'm happy to hear if anyone is following the OKRs, and I just want to hear their experiences also. So over to you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Anil. I think Sanjay ji raised a hand in between. So Sanjay ji,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, Anji, you have given an example of 5-year forecast and how
Yeah.
things are changing, you know.
Correct.
And you gave an example of OKR. I missed that example. What is that example? Can you please repeat it?
No, example, I have given it to you as a Bollywood actor kind of a thing. That's the example what I have given in between on this one. And yeah, 5-year strategy. Why? Because it is changing on this one, because earlier days it was working fine. That 5-year strategy and all, that is perfectly fine. But nowadays, for especially for the startups and the companies, whichever it is dynamically changing. So 5 years, yes, you can have a plan on this one, but you should not have that was the only plan. For the
So
OKR,
can't you have a rolling plan which keeps on dynamically changing, you know?
no, that is fine. For the major plan, yes, you have a major plan will be there. That major plan, you can divide it into smaller pieces, right? For that major plan, you can make it as a stage gates kind of a thing. And that stage gates, you can use it as a, each one is an objectives and key results. That's how you can look into that.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, Adish.
Thank you. Actually, in technology, there is a change in 3 years. Like for example, in case of construction industry, the change will be like a year, so we can change it accordingly.
Correct. No, even in construction also, I will not accept that 100% on this one. See, for example, what will happen is construction industry, because I came from the same real estate background and so on that. So what will happen is, for example, your cost as on today is not the same the cost as after 3 years in terms of a raw materials, in terms of a construction cost, the whole cost of this one. Cost perspective, it is always dynamic, right?
Yeah.
And also design perspective, yes, it is not easy to change the designs, or it is not easy to dynamism of the plan is less compared to other technology part. I mean, other industries compared to construction perspective. That is, I agree with that point, because the dynamics beside the construction industry is not so much as compared to other industries. But the cost and all other factors, yes, it's keep on changes, because the other surrounding, other factors will be keep on dynamic.
Yeah. So can we just change it like instead of 3 years, 3 months in like a technology in construction? Can we increase the time?
You can increase. See, basically the rollover can happen. See, for example, 90 days, for example, most of the companies nowadays, what they are doing on this one, even though they are keeping it as a 90 days plan, if you are not able to achieve the 90 days, there is no hard and fast on this one. You can just roll it to the next 90 days. See, this 90 days, I have done this part, and next 90 days, I will do the next part. That's it. You can always do that. And also you can set it out as a 1-year objective. Okay. Your objective is starting of the year to end of the year, or maybe next year. Okay. Once the end of the year, if that particular year, you are supposed to complete as a 30% of that particular construction. And once it is completed, 30% is achieved, then roll it over to the next year. Then remaining 70% you are supposed to achieve it in the next year. Yeah. You can break down that objective into multiple levels.
Yeah, thank you.
Atul, any comments?
Yeah.
Anil, so very well articulated and very well crisp and to the point. So this is the guys, everybody now understand that this is a very effective and important tool in the success of any enterprise journey. So some of the things are obvious, but they need to be followed up religiously. What I've seen in many organizations and the startup journeys and all that these pieces of documents, they are written, but they are consigned to the drawers. They are not essentially reviewed. It's very important that they need to be followed up. The whatever targets and the OKR they have been set, they need to be reviewed on a periodic basis. So the gap analysis is to be made, and then they need to be then addressed. Who is responsible? The responsibility, accounting, and all that has to set in, so that the ultimate objective of the organization or the enterprise or the startup which is set, that is achieved. So very well put by Anil. I think this is what I would like to say.
Anybody else with any? Yeah, this will.
Hi, Anil. Thanks for the info and the presentation. I just have only one question. I was just trying to differentiate between KRA, KPI, and QRA. So could you please elaborate on that?
Okay. KRA is nothing but it's a key result, what we are discussing about it in the objective and as well as key results, right? That is nothing but KRA. KPI is at the company level. Okay. Generally, what will happen is the KPIs will be always at the company level, which the KPIs is a measurable, quantifiable, always at the company objectives. I can say in terms of, for example, your revenue needs to be in the overall company level, your revenue needs to be increased so-and-so date to so-and-so X percentage to Y percentage. That's your KPI of your objective level. What I'm talking about the OKR perspective as an individual level. Yes, that KPIs can be, from that KPI, you can draw OKRs from there onwards. That KPI you can break down into OKRs. How you are going to achieve that one, that's where actually KPI is a superset of KRA.
Thanks, Anil. Got it.
So Anil, with the advent of all these terminologies and the role of HR professionals is increasing more and more in startups as well as small enterprises. But one big challenge all these people have is that they cannot afford the HR professionals in the initial stages of their business. No?
Correct.
Is there any way to solve this issue, or is there any such startup which is coming where they can help all these SME entrepreneurs and startups in providing them templates for those initial period or something?
True, Raju. Actually, this is actually one of the biggest challenge. Okay. Because startups can't afford, like, generally OKRs, most of the enterprises, what they will do, they will go with the Bain or maybe KPMG, PwC and A&Y, these kind of a consultants, what management consultants, they will do that one. But whereas startups, they can't afford to go with that point, right? So that's the biggest challenge. And of course, setting an objective is always a very difficult task. It always changes from company to company. It is not like my OKRs is not same as your OKRs on this one. So that is the one of the reason where it requires as a people's having a coaching on this one. And also we are just doing a Talent Spotify as a part of Talent Spotify. That's what actually my tool is also. That's where actually I'm helping the companies to setting up their OKRs and as well as to use that as a OKR example on this one. For example, what I'm doing is, if you belongs to this particular industry, then these are all possible objectives and key results. I'm just giving to them as a templates. Okay. So you can use that as a example on this one. At the same time, most of the people will feel like, if I'm just feeling this particular thing, what am I going to get it? Okay. You have set an objective and you have set a key result. Okay, fine. I set it as an objective and key results and I'm achieving also. So what am I going to get it? Am I going to get a bonus, or am I going to get a money or anything on this one? This is the next question. What is my incentive, or what is my fruit, or what is my benefit on this one in employee perspective? Why he will do that one? Even if you are asking, it is going to be an administrative activity, right? So he will just finish it up and then close it off. He's wash his hands, right? So there is nothing kind of an engagement kind of a thing is not there. So that's the reason what I have done is, if you are achieving your key result or if you are achieving your objectives, then we are just giving some sort of reward points to the employees or whomever it is. The people, whomever it is, completes their objectives and key results, they will get a reward points. And that reward points, it will be showing in a leaderboard, like, it's a kind of a gamification where bronze, silver, gold kind of a tiers, and people can redeem that benefits through monetary or non-monetary, like, flexible working hours, remote working, and all these kind of things. They can do that one. So startups, most of the startups where I am working with them, they are all offered for, they don't go for a non-monetary benefits because they don't have that much, money on this one. Budgets will be there. So what they are doing is they are giving as a non-monetary benefits. Like, for example, okay, today I will not come from work. Okay, I will not go to workplace. I will work from home today. Okay, or maybe I will leave early. So what they are saying is, okay, redeem your points, maybe a 10 points, redeem it, and then you can just, do whatever you want to do it. So people are just, whatever the earnings on these points, like it's a kind of a bank kind of a thing where you are depositing your reward points and you can withdraw it based on your, needs on this one. So that's how it has been. One of the startup, they are extremely doing well in that way. They are using it on this way. And also, I just want to show you something on this one. So if you guys can in a visual way, so that it will be easy way, I'll show you something on this one. Let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yeah, you can.
You're able to see my screen, right? See, what we are just doing is, if you can just create any OKR, what we are doing is we are just giving as a library kind of a OKRs. Like, if you belongs to business development, then we are giving it to them. These are the things, what are the possible objectives you have. For example, increase customer relationship. What is increase customer relationship? X number of interviews you have to do. These are all key results. Automatically, it will be just defined. So we have defined for each function level. See, if you are a CXO, either it could be a CEO or CFO, whomever it is, these are the possible objectives, what you can have it. And also, like, it is a different things. If you are belongs to each one, if you are belongs to finance, if you are belongs to procurement, if you are belongs to a startups, and if you are belongs to startups, which is belongs to SaaS based. So we have defined in such a way to answer your first question on this one, how does people knows that point? So we have, brought all together and we have studied, and then we put it over there. These are the possible objectives, and the moment you select it, automatically it will be gives you all these key results. Then you can follow it. If you don't know how to set it up, then we have templatized in that way on this one.
Very nice.
So in that way, at least people will be understandable, and then this is a kind of a template will keep on growing on this one, where we are interacting with many customers, then we are updating on this one. Since it is a SaaS product now, so people will be just automatically they can see the new updates on this one. And also we are just giving it to them something. Let's take an example, any objective, if it has been 100% is completed by any of these person or people, whomever it is completes the 100%, then they will be getting some sort of what I can say, some sort of reward points, and they will be getting a reward points on this one the moment they complete the objectives. And at the same time, what they can do, they can just they will appear in the leaderboard kind of a thing, like who is there in the gold, who is there in the silver, and who is there in the bronze. Like people are just going to be competing with each other and to increase their productivities on this one. So that's what we are just currently doing that one in a way.
Very good, very good. And
So,
what is the pricing of this product, Aneel?
we are just currently what we are just giving it to the people on this one. We are just asking their intent salary. That's it.
Okay.
When you are any startup is having as an intern, how much salary they are going to pay to the intern, we are just going to pay it up for us. That's it. It's going to be having as a one more resource. That's it. Like it could be a 10,000 or it could be a whatever the salary on this one, because we are just doing a beta version on this one. We are just at least into the startup stage. So what we are doing is any company just take this as a one more resource per month, one more intern, how much you are paying to the intern, and same thing you pay to us. That's how we are
Very
doing.
nice.
So this payment is per month basis.
Per month basis. That's it. Because most of the startups, what will happen is they are having as a less than 20 people or maybe 25 people. These are the people they are coming to me on this one. So what we are doing is for those people, we are just asking, okay, you treat that you have a 20 people, just treat that as another 21 person whom you are hiring as an intern. Keep that as a person, how much you are paying. This is the same person. That's it. And you just see that one. He is going to bring it as his own add value, right? The tool is like as a resource kind of a thing. That's it. Treat that as a human resource, another HR resource. That's it. What we are treating.
So who will use the resource? Will we use, or you will help us to use the?
No. What is going to be there? This is a tool. What it is a kind of a SaaS platform. What we are just going to give it. So what we'll do is we will help them in terms of initially we will be setting their objectives and key results and everything on this one. Later on, they will be just doing by themselves. So currently we are just doing for US based non-profit organizations. Even I surprised to see that non-profit organizations, they come up with that and they are using it, and which is a surprise to me also, which I never expected that one in US. Because what is happening in non-profit organizations, generally volunteers, they will not stay with the company. They will keep on going, right? Because there is no it's a kind of a charity work end of the day. So they will not stay that, like they will come up in a 1 week and they will not turn up in the next week. They will not show it to you. So that's the challenge. What I suggested them is use this tool. So what they are using is now any volunteer is coming up, they will be setting their objective. If they are achieving that, they are giving them as a cash prize to them. Whomever it is achieving their key result, they are getting as a cash prize. And so the volunteer retention rate is slightly increases now. So that's the one of the use case for me, even which I was not anticipated for the tool. And that's where actually it's a surprise to us on this one. And some of the companies, early stage companies, for example, they can't afford Jira kind of a thing. Like, technology companies, what they will do is they will store all these kind of things, bugs, daily tasks in a project management tools. They can't afford what you can say, Monday.com or maybe another Microsoft projects, or it's a huge licenses cost, right? So what they will do, they are using this as another project management tool also, Angle kind of a thing. Because they are keeping this as an objective, and they are drilled down this as a cascade, like as a milestone kind of a thing, and they're putting as an activities they are tracking, because each one is assigned to each and every person. Even we realize, okay, this tool can be used this way also in a project management perspective also.
Yeah, because a lot of people, especially the software companies, and they have a milestone-based payouts, no? And
Correct.
I am talking to few startups and advising them. So there also we are talking about that. Okay, we define 6, 7 milestones and pay bonuses according to the milestones. So all that can be managed through your tool.
Yeah, that's where actually it's been coming up.
Oh,
So because the
great.
rewards and the recognition, so once you have a reward points, use that as a reward points as a baseline
Uh-huh.
to pay it off to your bonus or anything on this one, or redeem that. And some companies, what they are doing is, because they want to promote the key results, because the productivity to be increased on this one, right? So
Mhm.
what they are doing is, one of the company, they are giving as an incentives like as a Netflix subscription, and because they are all young generation company, okay,
Right.
startup thing.
Right.
What they are doing is, all the OTT subscriptions they have added on this point. Like, if you
Oh.
achieve as a 10 points, then you will be getting some subscription for 1 month.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so those kind of things they have started. Okay, it is a
Mhm.
kind of a new way. So the moment, yeah, it is also for us also, it's a learning. Okay, people how
Yeah.
they are using and all these things. It's a good experience.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
what is that? There is a one company in UAE, which is a real estate company, one of the famous real estate company.
Mhm.
What they are going to use this particular tool as a balance scorecard.
Mhm.
It's not like as a OKRs or nothing. They want to use it as a balance scorecard directly.
Mhm.
They want to use this for each department wise. As a
Okay.
CEO, he wants to
Okay.
see how my finance is performing, and
Uh-huh.
how my commercial department is performing, how my other HR department, procurement department is performing, and you can see that one as a red, green, amber kind of a thing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So he is going to use it as a balance scorecard in terms of 4 dimensions, like financial aspect, people aspect, operations, and strategic perspective.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that's the one thing. Of course, the relationship is same. For me, it is a simple relationship, manager and employee. That's it. That's the relationship. Here,
Right.
same thing. It's a CEO department and sub department. CEO department is a manager, and sub departments are like as an employees kind of a thing. The framework is same. So
Okay.
how you are going to use it, that's up to you. Yeah, even these are all learnings for us. Like, the tool can be used in many use cases. We have built for one use case, and it's coming up more and more use cases now.
So people are teaching you how to improvise
Yeah.
your tool, huh? That's good.
That's the great learning, actually. Frankly
Yeah.
speaking, it's a great learning. We
Yeah,
thought
that
it's
is
one aspect, and market is teaching us in different aspects.
Yeah, as you
absolutely.
say, dynamically it is changing every day. So
Yeah. True. Because when I was started on this one, 2 years I have planned on the paper, and then I started with something in my mind, which is having a reviews. More than reviews, people are just liking it on the review, rewards and recognition part. That's what
Yeah.
is going on much more higher.
The new generation, they look forward to Starbucks vouchers or a
Correct.
weekend getaway trip or something, so
Ah.
all those things can be clubbed with this, right? So
Yeah. That's
because
true. That's how it has been happen on this one. Even I was just having a discussion with a couple of unicorns, which is in a HR tech unicorn. For example, Darwin Box, which
Mhm.
I hope you guys are aware of that one. Darwin Box is one of the unicorn in HR tech space.
Okay.
So Darwin Box, they were also just like, they are interested to make it as an integration with my tool. Like, wherever the Darwin Box is going to be sell it out, they want to just use my tool as a performance layer. Like, this OKR
Okay.
kind of concept, they want to use it on this one.
Oh,
So
very nice.
yeah, it is a kind of a, like, we saw that opportunities, what it is coming up on the market on this one.
Mhm.
Once you start it, then yeah, it's automatically it will come up. That's how it is going
Good.
on.
And I can tell you this is a very huge area where there people are struggling. Actually, this is a big pain point. So there exists a problem statement. I think you need to encash it to
Correct.
the best advantage.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's the one thing on this.
Definitely.
Anil, when did you launch this product in the market?
No, market we have not launched. It is only a beta version currently, which is we have done it now. Currently we have launched somewhere else in October, last year October.
Okay. Okay.
Last year October 22 we have started, and we have launched first customer in October 22. December we have launched another customer, and January we have launched another customer. So
Okay.
at this moment we have three customers
Great.
actively using on this. And UAE part, which we will launch it most probably by mid of next year, because you cannot launch it directly in UAE unless until you have to have a presence on this one, because they were more concerned about the data and all these kind of things.
Right.
All
So
these
maybe-
customers are from US?
No, one is from US, two is from Bangalore.
Okay.
Two from Bangalore.
So,
Anyway, Anil, I think we can recommend you a few more.
Sure.
The product is really good, and I think there's a lot of scope for this for the SMEs particularly.
Yeah, MSMEs, it's a best one. That's where actually we are just thinking about it, because we don't want to see MSMEs also, they don't need to pay. We know that one India pricing part. You see, basically what is happening is OKR tools, generally it will charge minimum $6 on an average, $6 per user per month. This is what actually the OKR price cost in any SaaS tool. $5 to $6 per user per month, which is $5 is nothing but of which costs approximately 400 rupees.
Right.
400 if you are having as 100 employees, then it is gone. 400 into 100, it is a 40,000 to 50,000, which
Right.
nobody cannot think about it in India on this one. Nobody will
Right.
pay for a software for that much price.
Right.
So that is the reason we don't want to pricing like that way. So we are just always saying that based on the company level, what is the intent salary, they can show it to us. Okay, this is the intent salary what we are paying. Okay, fine. That is the pricing what we are having it as a per month. That's it. We are just going for the intent aspect, because that's the one salary what they can do that. Right?
You are doing smart.
And if we have interns who are not charging us anything,
That we can do it for free of cost. That's what actually I put a condition also on that. So minimum cost, I already set it out as a 7,500 to 10,000. That's the minimum cost what we have kept it over there. Okay, at least you are paying as a 10,000 rupees to an intern on this one. So that's the word actually how we do it.
So Anil, you are doing intelligent marketing, but Indians are more smarter. No?
Yeah, I know.
So Sanjay came up with a very
Correct. No, this is like a common question. Even this is the same thing I have been, when I said this to one of the customer on this, he said like, we will not pay anything to interns on this one. Then I said like, okay, fine.
Right.
You will not get any consulting. You will get only my tool on the top. So that's how we said on this one. But yes, it is still in a beta version. Now currently we are just giving it to the customers as much as possible to use it on this one. We are not charging it.
Yeah, I think that's better. Once you start spreading this tool around, I think a lot of traction will come.
Correct, because we want to see still, we are just looking for the customer feedback now at this moment. So we are hearing a lot, like, what needs to be improved and how it needs to be improved. And one of the customer came up with a beautiful idea, the tasks, what we are just showing up to that. I will just show you one example on this one. The same thing, objectives and key results. Of course, this is related to our topic, so that's the reason I'm just showing it to you.
Yeah, sure.
So one of the customer came back and saying that one, we want to see the tasks. Generally, what we have done is we have just made it as a simple, what you can say, like as a typical Jira kind of a thing. What we made it, tasks, what I can say. I'll show you here. This is the way what we made it, kind of a Jira kind of a thing. Like, you can just simply drag and drop from here to here, like not started, in progress and completed. So people will be just moving to here to here. Okay. So that means the status is changes and all these things, and they can see, by calendar view, who is doing what and all. This is what we did initially. What they said, see, it is all good, but what we wanted is, we wanted to see in a nice view like this. Okay. Like each task will be having its own subtasks. There will be having a multiple subtasks, and we want to see the comments like this. Okay. They wanted to see in a progress bar on this one. They saw this, our objectives and key results. They wanted to have that similar view over here. What they are doing is, Every day, their trainees, this is currently they are using for trainings. I'm just giving an example. This is a test environment. I'm showing it to you. Their trainees, they will come up here and they will put their own comments. Like, you know, they will write whatever the comments they wanted to have it. They will write their own comments on this one. Okay. Every day I have done my work on this one. Say, for example, I'm working on RTL coding or something, and they will type it here and they will save it. The moment what it is over, they will simply just download that into PDF and they will submit it to their CEO. So what will happen is daily based reports, these kind of reports, what they are going to get it every day, they are going to get it from that CEO, and he can see that one who is working what. Like, you know, red, green, amber, whatever it is there, then he will take a corrective action. That's how it is currently working on it. And what we have done is we have done small sort of artificial intelligence here. For example, you are having a target is there. Whether you are able to achieve it or not, how do we know that one? That's the probability of success. The based on your keep on updating on that target, what you are updating on this one. Based on that, the probability will tell you whether you are able to success or not. You are able to achieve it or not, that particular target.
Anil, this is excellent. Can this be merged into our CRM?
Yeah, that is the one point. What CRM perspective we are having is we are planning to integrate with Salesforce currently. Okay. Because especially in the CRM perspective, we are planning to integrate with the sales and as well as service. These are the two areas where we are looking into that. Especially in the service areas, I'm getting a lot of queries on this one, where people are saying, like, whether this is my target is, let's take an example. My target is I have to bring a 5 million sales on this month. Okay. Currently, by end of this month, let's take an example. I will give you a classic example. By end of this month, I have to achieve 5 million sales. Today is a January 1st, 31st January, I am supposed to get as a 5 million is my target. By 10th of January, you have achieved $1 million. Okay. By 15th of January, you have achieved $2 million. What we are doing is by 10th, you are having a 1, by 15th, you are having a 2. Based on this data, we are extrapolating, okay? By 31st, as on today, let's take an example, today is 20th or 21st. As on 21st, we will tell you by 31st, whether you will be able to achieve it or not. It's a kind of an extrapolation. What we are using is using as a data science. That's what we are doing now.
But is it a simple extrapolation? Because
no, it is not a simple. No, it is not a simple extrapolation. We are using as a data science in the background.
Yeah,
because entire models are data science based models.
Some businesses, you get business in the last 10 days.
Yeah. I will show you, of course. I don't know whether it is relevant to this point or not. So how it will work is a simple example. Since we have a 5 minutes time, I will just show you quickly on another example to you. See, this is one of the thing what we have built it in an AI based model. This particular model will tell you whether whomever it is employee you are thinking in your mind, okay, whether he will stay with you or not, okay, in your company. That's what we are going to say that one. Based on the employee job satisfaction and as well as whether his remuneration is changed or not in last 1 year, and what is his performance score, and is there any disciplinary action exists or not. There are some certain behavioral questions we have asked. Like, based on that, if anybody can keep that employee in your mind, and if you can answer that particular questions, based on that, we will tell you this artificial intelligence model in the background. It will tell you what is the probability that employee voluntarily leave his position or not, so that you can take a corrective action. This is what we are just doing that one. Similarly, the same way, based on your actual results, what you are updating, based on that, we will give you as what is the predictable target. That's what it is.
Good. So AI is going to replace the HR managers.
No, it is. You can't replace a human, because that doesn't have emotions on this one. So that's the main thing on this one. Even I saw that ChatGPT, because that's where actually people are just talking about it.
Right.
Even surprised in ChatGPT is using in movie industry. That's I never thought about the use case. Can you imagine that it is in movie industry, how they will be using? It is giving a ChatGPT. If you can type it in ChatGPT, you put a actor's names. Let's take an example. Salman Khan, maybe Katrina Kaif, and put it as a Siddharth Malhotra as a director. Let's take an example. Or Rohit Shetty as a director. Give me a plot where Salman Khan, Katrina Kaif, and Rohit Shetty. That's it. It is giving you a plot based on their previous movies, what they have worked on the plots from Wikipedia. It reads and it is giving you a story. Can you try it in ChatGPT and you can see that?
It's fantastic, and you can write a blog in 10 minutes.
Yes.
By just having 5 questions in mind, you can write a complete article. No, so content creation is becoming more and more easy and automatic, right? So
Exactly.
but still you need to ask those questions. So that is where we are required.
Someone is required. What questions needs to be asked?
Absolutely,
right point.
absolutely. But definitely, this is taking the world by a storm. ChatGPT, everybody is talking about it.
Correct. It's going to be a new revolution. That's where actually I can see that.
Can you please elaborate more on this ChatGPT? I don't know.
Yeah, Sanjay ji, this is a tool which has come where it's a AI-based tool where you write your question and it will give you throw back the detailed answer on you. So it's
Advanced Google, I can say that.
advanced Google. Yes, I was about to say.
So it was what the children are using for their homework these days.
No, I
There
don't
was a
think.
lot of discussions on TV on this.
Maybe,
It's the next Google or the next something.
Yeah. It's a better than Google actually. Google gives you just one para or something. This is.
I'll take you virtual.
Yeah. So you can.
So where can we find this tool?
It is always open tool.
Yeah, you can Google. You can Google it.
Google, you will get it. It's open.
Google will allow us to. Okay.
Yes. Google is trying to acquire it rather.
Microsoft is already done.
Yes.
Interesting.
That's good.
Right. So, any other question, please, from anyone? Ajish, any question?
This chat GPT, like to know more about it, just in Google, if you give okay, or
just type it, you will get
okay, or we need to enter our questions in chat GPT.
No, then of course you start using the tool first. You can log into the tool and then you can utilize.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thanks everyone for joining in. And as always, Aneel has been a great speaker. And Aneel, I wish a lot of good luck to you for this excellent tool which you are developing. Talent Spotify is the need of the hour. I can see that. And I will definitely try and recommend few people to you. So, but I will not talk about that intern salary because that
you know how startups are,
so but yes, surely things are becoming more and more intelligent, and I think this tool is going to give that solve the problem which all these startups are facing. So OKR tools and any other help you require, I think Aneel is the right person to catch. So thank you very much. Thanks everyone for joining in today. Next week, same time, 11:30 a.m. We will be there with some more interesting topics. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.